one. Oh! Hello, YouTubers, and welcome to Hypothetical Skrrt. Today we're going to be answering the age-old question, Avengers versus Justice League. We're going to be looking at them based on an amalgamation of their cinematic experience mixed with just a dose of their comic book experience. And by that, I mean we'll be pretty much going off the movies that come to our minds, and when I'm losing an argument, I will use a random comic fact from 1970 to win.
Yep. There will also probably be a fair amount of comments of questionable validity.
Everything is final. Okay, so where are they fighting? Let's decide that first. What's the setting?
Should we go like Ragnarok Arena? Or like do we want something bigger than that?
I like that, but maybe larger since a lot of...
That's fair. I mean, like, Superman can't even have a battle without knocking over a few buildings. So if there's no buildings present, you gotta cut it and...
If there's no collateral damage to be had, Superman actually will pass away.
If there's no city destroying damage to happen, he's not involved.
Very true. I'm gonna let you pick your favorite metropolitan area.
Some super urbanized area in Dubai. Okay. So, like, lots of, rich...
Tall buildings to knock over is what Superman's here.
Facts. I really made that pick for Superman. Superman has entered the chat when he heard about these buildings.
The largest building known to man? Well, first, let's say, whose side are you fighting for, Brandon?
I'm going to go with Marvel, based solely off just... knowledge.
Therefore, by proxy, I will be fighting for the Justice League, arguing Justice League all fly or zip in, depending on superpowers. I think all of them fly, but one of them.
Okay.
So, will they just all, boom, land on the ground? The Avengers they all come through the Doctor Strange portal. Via
okay.
Endgame. Yeah. So they even though Doctor Strange is not in this lineup, that is how they arrive.
He's just the vessel.
Yeah. Our first lineup, Captain America versus Wonder Woman. Two very strong individuals.
Captain America naturally is just going to throw the shield. He likes to lead with that.
Wonder Woman, I dare say, has the capability to catch said shield.
She might, in fact, be capable of that.
Honestly, she would probably just catch it and throw it back, yielding it a... useless attack, but also not much of a defense either.
Yeah, no, fair.
Her move is generally just yeet out that big old sword she got from, and then just start slicing. But Vibranium Shield, I think he's got the biggest defense there is.
Yeah.
A shield. So what I think, regardless of the swordsmanship of the Wondrous Woman or the defense mechanisms of a Captain America, I think that's only going to get them so far. They're going to come to a point where, there's either a really good uppercut or a really good block where one knocks the other's weapon out of each other's hand. Classic 1v1 swordsmanship.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to come down to a battle of the
fisticuffs.
The fisticuffs. I think she's going to pull some of the old I am a god power.
Yeah, she does have that advantage over him being a literal deity,
I think Wonder Woman's gonna come out of this fight zapping the boy to toast.
Yeah, I think she's gonna zap him back to pre-military Steve. You're not winning against a god if you're not a god. It's just kind of that simple.
He is just a man at the end of the day.
He's just a kid, and life is a nightmare.
All right, I'm going to put a 1 in the loss column for Captain America Marvel and 1 in the win column for Wonder Woman DC. Matchup numero dos. Iron Man versus Green Lantern. The real question is, do we want Hal Jordan Green Lantern, John Stewart Green Lantern?
The Hal Jordan Green Lantern is going to be the only one that would not definitely beat Iron Man.
That's honestly, you're probably correct. We'll say Hal Jordan Green Lantern, a la Ryan Reynolds. Pretty similar power set. in the sense that Hal Jordan isn't very creative, so anything he makes with his Green Lantern ring is either like a big gun or a jet or some sort of motor vehicle, which Iron Man is
He made at one point just that massive fist.
Yeah.
Imagine being able to conjure up literally anything in the universe and picking something you have just bigger. Like, I don't know what that's about.
From there, Iron Man pretty much is a bunch of weapons and a motor vehicle, so pretty even split if you ask me.
No, truly.
I think it's going to be a lot of Green Lantern building an offensive weapon like a gun or a rocket launcher, and then Iron Man blocking it, but whatever he creates to block it with the nanotech explodes, so therefore back to zero, and then vice versa. Iron Man shoots a missile at him. He does a green block, and then it explodes.
I think the one advantage that Iron Man might have over Hal Jordan definitely is just his brain.
Yeah, that watches a lot of Rick and Morty, that Tony Stark.
Yeah, he's seen every episode of Rick and Morty.
Big brain.
Insanely big brain.
But I think you're right. I think Iron Man would take that. I mean, the science alone, like, Green Lantern kind of just got his powers because an alien thought he was a good guy.
Yeah.
Whereas Iron Man, built on his own sweat and blood in the caves of Kazakhstan.
Right. Yeah, I mean, Iron Man was he was in a different type of bag. Like, his success was calculated. Hal Jordan was handed the bag, and he arguably fumbled it.
He was
Whereas Tony seemed to flip it and tumble it.
You get the bag and fumble it, I get the bag and flip it and tumble it.
One for Iron Man, one for Marvel. We'll give that a win column. Wow, it's crazy to think that it's equally matched right now.
That's crazy how so far this video has started out with an even score.
Man, it's
almost like
it was planned. Almost like we researched for day and night for years coming to this verdict.
This video is 15 years in the making.
Next up, we have the almighty Thor, God of Thunder, versus Aquaman, King of the Sea. You know, this sounds like a familiar matchup, as I believe we were once in a river.
We were once in an incredibly cold river at an ill time of the year.
Mm-hmm. You got one buff dude with a beard, Jason Momoa, versus another buff dude with a beard, Chris Hemsworth, both rocking a sick-ass weapon given to them by their dads.
Yeah.
Hammer or trident. You know, I don't want to come at my own neck, but as far as we're talking elemental powers, lightning versus water.
That's what I was thinking. I mean, he might be a problem for because he can fly, so all he's got to do is get the upper ground and just zap that boy.
And we're in Dubai, notably not accompanied by a large body of water. All right, so our next lineup is a strange one. Two very different types of power sets. We have the Incredible Hulk and the fastest man alive, Barry Allen, the Flash.
That is a curious lineup.
You know, you would think that you'd pair someone like the Flash against the copycat Quicksilver.
The exact copycat.
Or pit someone like the Hulk against someone as strong like Superman, but
right.
We hit different here at Film Skirt and Hypothetical Skrrts. We've never seen a matchup like this in all of history.
Yeah.
It's a really Jackie Chan versus Mike Tyson type situation.
Truly. Yeah, no, I don't even know. I mean, so Dubai, I guess, is equal stomping grounds for both of them here.
There's plenty of streets for the Flash to run as fast as possible and break all the glass on the ground level floors. Yeah. And equally as many tall buildings for the Hulk to just smash.
To just run into?
Yeah. The Flash would run so fast that he could, in fact, run through the molecules of the Hulk and just split him in two.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I like the Hulk, but I think no matter how you slice it, he like Flash is winning this. Because, I mean, even if you just picture
he's the fastest man alive.
He is. And don't get me wrong, for as big as the Hulk is, he's pretty agile. You know, he's a modern day Mike Smith. But
he truly does resemble Michael Smith.
But
I will say that much.
When push comes to shove, like you can't move as you can't move as quick as the quickest guy on Earth. Like that's just.
So really, what I think would immediately happen is the Flash would run at supersonic speeds, both through the Hulk, in the Hulk, on the outsider realms of the Hulk, maybe even breaking into the quantum realm. The Hulk is split into two. That's just quantum physics. I didn't study at Harvard, but I did study at Yale, and all I have to say about quantum physics is that the Flash would in fact beat the Hulk.
Scientists hate this one weird trick where you get zapped by lightning in the quantum realm. They hate that, but they can't deny it.
Okay, I think we can just call it there. Barry Allen over Bruce Banner.
Yeah,
that's
wins.
All that.
So is that a 2-2 now?
Spider-Man versus Batman.
Oh.
You know, the Bat versus the Spider.
I saw. Do you follow 2 Chainz on Instagram?
I do not, but I will pull that up and I will give it a follow.
Just like look at the last picture he posted. Yeah.
All right. I'm taking a screenshot of that. I will put that up on the screen.
Okay.
For this video because that is important knowledge.
Pretty powerful message.
That being said, we have Bruce Wayne versus Peter Parker.
Anyways, yeah.
Two infamous characters, arguably, like I said, the number 2 and 3 superheroes of all time based on recognizability.
Yeah.
I will say the one thing Spider-Man has going for him is he is not a regular human, which Batman is.
That's true.
So,
that's very true.
Spider-Man's spider sense is going to fight hard for him. The fact that he could literally see any punch coming before it comes. But
that's true.
It's hard to say.
It do be hard to say. That's fair. You know, Batman can swing from things. He can do that, but he has nowhere near the ability to be everywhere that Spider-Man does.
Spider-Man can climb walls similar to Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible 4. Even though Batman has arguably beat every other character in comics multiple times over, I think Spider-Man would win this.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think so too. I mean, he also's got the age jump on him.
Yeah,
even the youngest Batman has been like 30.
Yeah, like a feeble 30-year-old Christian Bale has nothing against a spry 19-year-old Tom Holland.
Facts. That's a big L. Big L.
I'm just going to go ahead and put that's a win for Spider-Man and an L for Batman. Score right now is Avengers 1, Justice League -1.
Ooh.
I don't know how that scoring algorithm works.
Yeah, that's interesting math.
That's what
we
we're
don't
at.
make the rules. We don't make the rules.
We just play by them. Next up is a quite interesting matchup, if I do say so myself. Martian Manhunter versus Black Panther.
Oh, I'll drink to that. I think that he definitely is taking the L there. I think like even on his best day.
That's a quick Martian Manhunter. He comes up, he phases, so he can like phase, like he can change his own mass, so he can like walk through walls and shit. So he phases through T'Challa and then becomes 100% mass again and just splits him in two. The final matchup of the evening for the 1v1 section, we have Captain Marvel versus Superman.
I think Captain Marvel is great. Like she is like she's got crazy, like she's hardcore.
She's a hard ass for sure. Like it's a fair fight.
It is a fair fight. But gosh, like I don't know. Like Superman is just Superman. Like I don't know if I could pit anybody against Superman.
We're in Dubai.
Off the dome.
We're in Dubai, and I think he would probably come up and then just.
Yeah, he's a big fan of that. He likes that a lot.
Look, the DCEU Superman loves a good neck. Yeah, I mean that's just a quick W for Superman, I'd say. Adding up here, we're at a total of 4 wins for the Justice League and 3 for the Avengers. Now, instead of being like a lower class versus video and just ending it there. I'd say obviously the lone survivors of each category would then team against each other. We have Superman, Martian Manhunter, Flash, and Wonder Woman versus Spider-Man, Thor, and Iron Man.
Let me scratch my chin.
Iron Man and Thor tag team Wonder Woman. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Thor and Iron Man combine lightning and repulsor technology to obliterate Wonder Woman. So then we have the full squad consisting of the God of Thunder, Tony Stark, and Peter Parker, the Spider-Man, facing off against Superman and Martian Manhunter.
See, the one thing, like the one saving grace that I think could, by a long shot, save Marvel in that situation is Tony Stark being Tony Stark might have found some kryptonite.
For sake of argument, and because we've done such an extensive amount of research that leads to this fact, I think
Culmination of our thesis here.
Yeah, after Iron Man defeats Green Lantern, figure that whole thing out because there's endless amounts in the universe, as we've learned to know in any Superman medium. Tony Stark is able to put a little bit of kryptonite crystal right in his chest piece, and so he can do that good old Iron Man chest blast. I wouldn't say that it kills Superman, but I'd say it's a feasible way to either knock him out or just weaken him to a degree that is suitable for either Thor to defeat or knock out cold. So let's just say, for sake of argument, they aren't able to kill Superman because that's a near impossible feat, but they're able to knock him out.
But it would be nearsighted for us to not consider the fact that in the time it took for Tony to fly to these places, Spider-Man has pissed his pubescent pants and gotten murdered
by Martian Manhunter.
There's no way Martian Manhunter and Superman combined have not hit the lick on Peter Parker by that point. He is certified toast.
No, he mind links with Peter Parker. It's like, Peter Parker, Zendaya is being held hostage with Uncle Ben and Aunt May by the Green Goblin at the top of this.
Uncle Ben's already dead, and he's still like, yo.
He's still like, yo, so Tom Holland is crawling up the tallest building in Dubai. Then the next thing you know, he's halfway up the height of the building, and Superman just decides to fly through the middle of it. Because dead. Wasted. Dead. Iron Man with kryptonite and a regular Thor versus Superman and Martian Manhunter. That's a duo v duo. We have a weakened, very low poly Superman with Martian Manhunter versus Thor and Iron Man. Now, here's the thing. Martian Manhunter can phase through physical objects. I think he's phasing through Tony Stark and then giving him the old Clark Kent. Correct. While that's happening, so Martian Manhunter is murdering Tony Stark. While that's happening, I think Thor is using 100% of his All-Father strength, all the lightning from the Marvel Universe, to just zap the rest of the life out of Superman, which never once in my life did I think I would come to the conclusion where Superman was losing in a battle, but I think in this hypothetical situation, which is actually factually confirmed by all of the research ever and cannot be denied or argued in any sense.
By anybody in the comments or otherwise.
There's no potential way to argue the fact that Superman would lose to Thor in this scenario. So Superman's dead. He's dead to rights.
Toast.
He's six feet deep.
There's no way Thor, Superman's taking the L every day of the week.
At this point, it is Tony Stark and Thor versus Martian Manhunter.
He does have the axe, but Martian Manhunter literally has everything else.
Yeah, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the fact that Martian Manhunter is in fact more powerful than Thor in this situation, and that there's no disputing that fact. saying that Martian Manhunter would not only be the last man standing, but be the sole victor that claims victory for the Justice League over the Avengers.
Multiverse.
That being said, I think it's confirmed, in fact, that not only do the Justice League win this battle, but the Justice League are therefore considered superior in all senses to the Avengers in every which way.
That's a fact. Cinematically as well. I mean, the DC movies blow the entire MCU franchise out of the park. Saga, thank you. Like name a single Marvel movie better than a DC movie. You can't. You can't do that.
Even in the farthest reaches of like insanity, one could say Guardians of the Galaxy is similar to Suicide Squad, but then obviously Suicide Squad had not only better
Margot Robbie,
storytelling, better character depictions based on their comic roots. And
the Jared Leto Joker, that is the quintessential Joker from the comics.
If you don't think that the Jared Leto Joker is the most accurate portrayal of the Joker in
far better than Heath Ledger,
it's
like what?